I cleaned off a decent amount of space on here, like 2 gigabytes, so I don't have to rush. Uh, I was throwing things at that, and I don't know. I just feel like talking to myself in my head to the camera, but also about my situation. And if at first it was like really, I am really tired, but when I first got here, I was like, do I rest or do I do stuff? Do I keep making videos? All that shit. So, and then I listened to music for like an hour, kind of just still going back and forth. But this is what I'm eating for a snack. It's like ranch of sorts. Um, no problem. But this one's actually really solid. You don't get a feel for them, like, and well, it'd be harder hitting while holding the camera, but yeah. But you can collect up like a bunch of them. That's one thing I did. You can collect up a bunch of them, like in your other hand, like 3 or 4, or tuck them up under your arm. It's almost like throwing knives. It's the same principle. At least of that you can carry a bunch. Like, um, or like I'm really tired, so I don't really even like just things I could talk about. Like I thought about doing a video showing off the wonderful monuments of the city that are like next to the homeless like shelter plate, the central intake place where they have all like the immigrants go, and uh these big giant like abstract architectural monuments that are like $60 million or something to make, and there's like 50 people outside of the one place. uh yeah, so I was just doing a whole bunch of like, I was doing like push-ups and exercise because I went with a friend because he like just come to the city. He was new here, and so I introduced him to like the housing, or the one drop-in center. They got him talking to the housing people and stuff, and they want to kind of herd everyone into these like $1,300 a month. Like they're like a couple times bigger than, maybe a few times bigger than a jail cell, right? And there's cameras everywhere and all that. But you get a like, you don't get a key. You get like a key card, and the places are always infested with like bed bugs and cockroaches, and it takes months to even get into something like that, and they make that everyone's hopes and dreams. But anyways, so he talks to one of those people or whatever, and he's not really interested in that. But the lady's like, well, like how, like, I don't know. I guess maybe they have quotas to fill. But uh, she ended up saying he could have like this uh gift card, these gift cards and stuff. But he had to go to the intake center to get it, and they would have it in a little envelope in the front, whatever. You could just go and tell him his name and get it. And when he got there, It ended up taking like, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour, and just waiting outside. Eventually I was like, well, I'll just do some push-ups, whatever. Plus, I like doing, but then I also think to do them right there because it kind of like I want to inspire other people to do that, especially out like there, because it's like there's definitely it was weird. There's definitely like dudes there that are naturally like really fit, and really strong, and all that. But it's like the country makes everyone like kind of weaker. Like at least it's aimed to make the poor people weaker because they're like they huddled in one spot, whatever. And then I realized like I could like take space and take land by making by making it more of an area to do exercise, whatever. But I mean, I think the like if the homeless people were like militantly exercising, and I do very mean militantly exercising, uh, we can make a much better world through, might is right. So, so yeah, it's just, and then he finally came out, and like all the McDonald's we went to were fucking closed, and that just like caused all these like what I like cascade of fucking problems. Uh, I don't even know where he is now because we ended up losing contact. Whatever. I was very sleepy to the point of like I didn't want to go out for another side adventure, but whatever. And then yeah, it was just so sleepy. I ended up getting kind of lost in the areas I even knew. Like I should have knew where I was. And I don't know. It was just very off putting. And I don't even want to talk about it necessarily, but it's like there's almost like a duty or responsibility to like share the knowledge of the fucking of what's going on, and that's just like the tip of the iceberg. Is you know the guy was native, and I learned a lot about how things are from his accounts. But yeah, it's tiring even going through all this like sort of emotional stuff. Let's do the practice with like different weights and different things are slightly off balance, but you can almost like feel it out and compensate if you really try different rather than just get used to the same one all the time. It's more variety. I almost feel like I'm done talking, but I cleared off a lot of space, and I might as well use it. Oh, wait, big miss. I guess the good thing about that one too, throwing that one or mixing it up is like if you miss like that and it's not one of your good ones, it's like not a big deal. You don't have to go run after it. And it's like that one right there is my main one. And then the other smaller one I found around here somewhere. And my hands are all cold, but uh, yeah, it was just. I mean, it was just so many the different bad experiences. It's hard to talk about. Like I had these nice, like decent, nice gloves I had got at some point, and and we were out like they're supposed to give like a meal to everybody, and so like so people at least have like a dinner, but the place was like so overcrowded and I mean on the inside and outside, and there was like this woman behind me who commented on my gloves, whatever. I felt bad she didn't have them, have gloves. But I did tell her like how she could get some. Uh, so I asked about the meal thing, and then it's like they find out, and something find out, and then I was waiting a minute, and she was looking for the same thing. So I was like, well, you try ask, because it just works out better that way, right? Because then it's not the same person buzzing twice; it's two different people buzzing about the same thing. And they're like, oh, we'll just like wait around. And she was waiting, and then I started like kind of like explaining to my friend I was with, like, because he's new to the city. I was just pointing out how it's fucked up that like there's all these like monuments and like the most expensive extravagant like uh thing, like there's just like, I think one of the like most more extravagant movie theaters is literally like within like the same block of I mean, I seen a dude. He just like sat on the concrete. He didn't have any blankets or anything, and he grabbed a piece of cardboard, and it wasn't even like big enough or properly like size that. But he just like put it over his legs, just to like. It's fucking sad, man. And I keep having like this. The only part of the song, the lyrics to it, is where it kept popping in my head. The capitalism has made it this way. Everybody thinks like, oh, like people's wealth is deserved. It's really not. Like the whole system is corrupt. Even people I might like, I don't think they just actually deserve all their wealth. That yeah, they might have like there's a certain cap to it though. There needs to be a certain cap. Like there's a certain level of excess that is just like people will be like, oh, you're unemployed, you don't work. I think I'm doing very important work. I think I'm doing much more important work than a lot of people who to make millions. I think a lot of people who make millions are actually doing like horrible, horrible things to the world. And then their minions and whatever like oh, I work in the paper industry, therefore I deserve to go and have all these drinks and spend like $1,000 or fucking whatever on a weekend. And you don't do shit, so you don't deserve these things because capitalism. Because this is the way society works. Like, or I mean, what about like there's some low IQ people that go to the drop and everything, and they're poor, but it's like they're like they can't, like the one guy can't afford smokes. They can't afford decent clothing. Like at least a little bit of not just the basics of the very like don't reduce people down to like, oh well, that's a luxury. That's you deserve a mansion luxury, and you like blah blah blah. Like I don't know. I if we're gonna live by those rules, I'd rather just go back to like what you can take and what you can hold. Like I don't, yeah, especially like within. I think how the native idea of land is it's like it's land's kind of for everybody. Like you got your personal area you can defend, whatever, but the land doesn't like belong to. There's no ownership. So I definitely believe that personal property is more sacrosanct than private property. I don't believe in private property. I don't believe Bill Gates owns any land. Yeah, I don't think that like I don't think Kids Rock's the Kids Rock He's got mansions and shit like in all these different places. I don't think that those deserve to be safe from being looted. I don't think that he deserves like. I mean, it's just yeah. I just don't believe in this world. There's got to be. I don't know. It's like even the people like I might like I say even the people I might really agree with the like Andrew Tate or something like he's basically got like a small empire and that's like it's like well why does he need a certain type of vehicle like in this country in that country in this country. Well, I mean, they have sort of like banned him off of so many things, whatever. He's running like a small empire, but even him, like, I don't think he is just he has earned the luxuries of blah 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 because I don't think that that level of like excess and luxuries is really if it comes at the expense of having to have slavery. I don't think like I just it's just not. If it comes at the cost of having to have like hundreds of humans that have to do this whole upkeep, all these upkeep rituals of like washing your car and like picking up after your parties and like people should just do that for themselves. There shouldn't really be a service industry. It should just be fucking uh have a really nice sports car or have like several of them maybe even but for the most part there would be like a limit to how much one person can even like manage or deal with on their own. Instead, you need like whole systems of fucking wage slavery. Damn it. Just to maintain one person. Because now it's like, oh, now I gotta have security guards. And like security guards aren't exactly paid a lot of money. Just like because you need so many of them, and it's a dime a dozen job. No one actually gives a fuck about you really, but you're expected to like uh, yeah, you expect it to often they have to deal with a lot of hate shit because the people just generally don't like security guards because trying this one, but fuck it. So I guess they recounted a couple of the horrible experiences. Uh, I just kind of want to like take a nap or something or go to sleep, but I don't fucking know. My plans are all like thrown off. I guess at least I shared a lot of knowledge in it, and I got a lot of knowledge out of the thing. Yeah, I think I'm just done talking.